In today's video, I want to give you guys a heads up on the PlayStation Plus free game offerings for the month of September, and my god, it is arguably the best month for PlayStation Plus subscribers ever. These are the type of months I was waiting for. High quality games, two high quality ones at that, and I want a lot more of this because now we're only getting 2 games on PlayStation Plus. I've been wanting this for a long time, and Sony is really delivering come September. Also, I'll give you guys a quick update on 2 more underrated PlayStation 4 titles, upcoming games in Blacksad, Under the Skin, as well as NG. Those games look rather good. We'll talk that at the end of this video, but first up, I'm sure the majority of you guys are interested in the PlayStation Plus games, and they are killer come September. We have Batman Arkham Knight as well as Darksiders 3. We'll dissect both of those games, and first up, Batman Arkham Knight is a great offering. Obviously, the Batman Arkham series has been around for quite a while. Rocksteady just celebrated their 10th anniversary since the release of Batman Arkham Asylum. That was all over social media, so kind of cool timing in terms of offering Batman Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight, in my opinion, is the weakest of the 3 main Batman Arkham games. I do think it's better than Batman Arkham Origins. However, Arkham Origins was done by a different studio, and just generally speaking, usually it's not considered a part of the main Batman Arkham franchise. Still, Batman Arkham Knight is a very good game, and me saying it's not as good as Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, what does that really say? I mean, those 2 games were tremendous. In the case of Arkham Knight, obviously, visually, the game is stunning. It has a much bigger world than the previous 2 titles. The gameplay is as satisfying as ever. I do think some of the storytelling elements leave a little bit to be desired, but still overall the game is phenomenal. It's one of those games that I wish had a significant PlayStation 4 Pro enhancement, because I do think if it was built for a PlayStation 4 Pro version, it would be doing really well performance and visual wise. Nonetheless, that's just a minor gripe, and this game came out all the way back in 2015. But it's still a phenomenal game that holds up really well. Now, do you want to play the first 2 Arkham games before jumping into Arkham Knight? You don't necessarily have to, but I definitely wouldn't be against it, and considering that Return to Arkham is always very cheap on PlayStation 4 and on the PlayStation Store, wouldn't be a bad idea. But if you want to jump headfirst into Batman Arkham Knight and enjoy an open world adventure, it's definitely a great game, so I would highly recommend that. This game typically goes for $19.99 if it does go on sale, and it's still $8 to $15, so that is a great freebie. Also, probably the better freebie in terms of value. I don't know if Darksiders 3 would be considered a better game than Batman Arkham Knight, probably not, but Darksiders 3 is a very good game. I think it's a little bit underrated, to be honest. THQ Nordic put this game out last year, so it hasn't even been a long time since the release of Darksiders 3, so it to be a PlayStation Plus title, that is really great. Now, Darksiders 3 is obviously the 3rd game in the Darksiders franchise, and also, just like Arkham Knight, it might be the weakest in the series, but I had a lot of fun with Darksiders 3. I know the critics weren't as hot on it as I am. I think it has a 70 on Metacritic, but the game is still rather enjoyable, and at this point, you're not paying that full $60 price point. It's just a freebie with PlayStation Plus. I think you're gonna be surprised with how good the game is. Now, obviously, could it be better in certain regards? Sure, but I think Gunfire Games did a pretty good job with it, and whenever they do a Darksiders 4, which they probably will, this game broke even in sales very quickly and made a profit within like a month. So from a THQ Nordic standpoint, commercially, the game did rather well, and I think Darksiders 4 is going to be a reality sometime in the near future. We already know that Darksiders Genesis is in development. I believe Gunfire Games just got acquired by THQ as well. All the pieces are in place for Darksiders 4 to eventually happen. When that does happen, I don't know, but for a lot of you guys, I know you didn't play Darksiders 3, definitely do give it a look as a plus freebie. And if you've never played any of the Darksiders games, Darksiders 1 and 2 are also available on the PlayStation 4. Kind of crazy how many remasters we see, and next month's Plus offerings are kind of a statement on that, given that both of these games are the 3rd game in the franchise, yet the previous 2 games are also available on the PlayStation 4 in the form of remastered variants. I just find that to be a funny little tidbit, but nonetheless, Darksiders 3, a very good game. Visually, it's nothing to write home about, but I do think it has some interesting gameplay mechanics, and if you've enjoyed Darksiders in the past, if you want a quality hack-and-slash action game, Darksiders 3 will definitely fill a nice void, and it's a little bit underrated of a game again, even though commercially it did rather well. It's not a game you hear a ton of people talking about, and the more games people are playing from THQ Nordic, I think the better we're off, because they are a tremendous publisher. So it also seems like they've opened the floodgates to start offering their major titles as plus freebies. I always like to keep an eye on that as well, what publishers are open to the idea of offering their games on plus. And it looks like THQ Nordic, with their extensive repertoire of games, they're open to offering games on PlayStation Plus like they are with Darksiders 3. All in all, I think this month is tremendous. Usually what I'm looking for out of any given month is one major game where we can really sink our teeth into, and then maybe a slightly underrated game. In this case, you've got two major games. Now, in the case of Batman Arkham Knight, I imagine that the majority of gamers, at least, you know, probably like 30 to 40% of people that have interest in the Plus games monthly, they may have already played Batman Arkham Knight, so yes, that is a little bit unfortunate. But in the case of Darksiders 3, I think that's a rather foreign game to a lot of people, and for those of you that both of these games you haven't played either of them, well then you're just absolutely winning, given the fact that if you're smart about it and you're paying the $3 and change a month like you should be for PlayStation Plus, given that it goes on sale for $40 for a year subscription, $3 and change to play Darksiders 3 and Batman Arkham Knight, that sounds pretty freaking tremendous, and we need more months like this. Less months where they're trying to offer us, you know, Pro Evolution Soccer or whatever that a lot of people just did not have interest in, and offer us some games that we could really get into. A Batman Arkham Knight and a Darksiders 3, yes, they're not recent games. In the case of Darksiders 3, I mean, it kind of is. It is, what, like 9 months old? These aren't super big budget recent marquee titles, however, they are games that are of quality, and I think the majority of PlayStation 4 gamers are gonna enjoy. I'm sure there's gonna be some of you guys, and I'll see it in the comment section in a little bit. These games suck, I have no interest in these games. Where's my Marvel Spider-Man and Days Gone? I'm paying my $3 and change a month. How could Sony do this to me? I've given up everything for PlayStation Plus. Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be some of you guys out there like that. However, I think the majority of you guys are gonna be happy with Batman Arkham Knight and Darksiders 3. Okay, lastly, I do want to quickly go over two updates to PlayStation 4 games, upcoming titles that are a little bit underrated, but I feel like deserve a little bit more attention. Blacksad Under the Skin looks like an awesome game. It's set in the 50s New York City, where Joe Dunn, owner of a boxing club, is found dead, and rising star Bobby Yale, due to take to the ring for the most important fight of his career, has mysteriously disappeared. Sonia Dunn, Joe's daughter, takes over the gym and must deal with its financial woes. She hires private detective John Blacksad to investigate Yale's disappearance. The highly anticipated boxing match of the year is drawing closer, and the club's finances would not survive with a no-show from Bobby Yale. During its investigation, Blacksad will find himself swimming with sharks in a universe where corruption is everywhere. This game is rather interesting from a presentation standpoint, and it was originally scheduled to be released on September 26th. Unfortunately, it is seeing a delay until November 5th, a little bit of a bummer, but I'm hoping Pendulo Studios does a good job with the title. Including the Microids, the publisher of the game, they noted, quote, "The team will use the extra time to polish the game with only one goal in mind: deliver the best possible experience to our players." So again, Blacksad Under the Skin no longer coming out on September 26th, but still seeing a relatively quick turnaround on November 5th. And lastly, coming from Arc System Games, NG will be launching on PlayStation 4 on October 10th. This is following up on last year's critically acclaimed horror adventure Spirit Hunter Deathmark. Spirit Hunter NG features a new cast of characters as they battle the terrors that lurk in Tokyo Shadow. The newly created Spirit Hunter series, which includes Spirit Hunter Deathmark and Spirit Hunter NG, will showcase uniquely terrifying interactive horror experiences. The game notes creeping a horror's familiar setting, search for clues. More than a visual novel, it offers an immersive and exciting gameplay experience where players must make decisions at key moments in order to survive. Players navigate choices via a judge system, allowing them to respond to each event with a spectrum of reactions. Beautiful but deadly. The game features gorgeous illustrations from artist Fumiya Sumio, who makes the terror in each character's face impossible to miss and renders horrifying spirits with stunning detail. So if you're into horror games, if you're into visual novels, that's another game to keep your eyes on, and I'm happy to see the PlayStation 4 continues to become a bigger haven for visual novel experiences. And that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, I really just wanted to mainly highlight the PlayStation Plus offerings, Batman Arkham Knight and Darksiders 3. That is a great month, $3 and change to get access to those two titles. I'm always gonna be of the mindset we shouldn't have to pay to play online, but hey, in the climate that we're in today, we're gonna have to pay to play online. Let's just hope we can get some decent freebies with the PlayStation Plus games, and in the case of September, we're definitely getting that. Blacksad Under the Skin, unfortunately delayed until November 5th, and NG, a horror visual novel, will be dropping October 10th. That concludes this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.